Dear shareholders, good morning and a warm welcome to the ninth annual general meeting of the members of KFin Technologies Limited. Please note, for the smooth conduct of the meeting, all the shareholders by default will be placed on listen-only mode. The audio and the video will be unmuted during the question and answer session for those shareholders who have registered themselves as a speaker. We have also provided the shareholders with the webcast facility for live viewing and the proceedings of the meeting. Please note that as per the statutory requirements, the proceedings of the meeting are being recorded and the transcript will be made available on the website of the company post conclusion of the meeting. Now, as we have the requisite quorum to conduct the meeting, I invite our chairperson, Mr. M.V. Nair, to initiate the proceedings. Thank you, and over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajita. Good morning, esteemed shareholders of the company. I extend a warm welcome to the 9th annual general meeting of the company. I'll briefly introduce the board members attending the AGM. On my left is Mr. Srikanth Nadella, our Managing Director and CEO. And next to him is Mr. Vivek Narayan Mathur, Full-time Director and CFO. Directors attending virtually are Mr. Ganesh Kumar Khara, Independent Director, Mr. Changalat Jayaram, Independent Director and Chairperson of the Nomination Remuneration Committee and Stakeholders Relationship Committee, Mr. Kaushik Muzumdar, Independent Director and Chairperson of the Audit Committee, Ms. Radha Rajappa, Independent Director, Mr. Shankar Iyer, Independent Director, Mr. Alok Mishra, Non-Executive Director, Mr. Shantanu Rastogi, Non-Executive Nominee Director, Mr. Srinivas Peddara, Non-Executive Nominee Director, Mr. Devang Bhiwala, Non-Executive Nominee Director. The members of the management, Head of Investor Relations, Ms. Alpana Kundu, Company Secretary, are also attending the meeting. I'm informed that Mr. Amit Kumar Bajaj and Mr. Sri Kumar Tumaluri, representatives of the statutory auditors, Mr. Vasudeva Rao Devaki, representative of the secretarial auditors, and Mr. S.N. Vishwanathan, the scrutinizer, have also joined the meeting. I once again extend a warm welcome to everyone present at this AGM. I've been informed that necessary quorum for the meeting is present, and I call the meeting to order. I will now request Ms. Alpana to make announcements for the smooth conduct of the meeting. Alpana.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. This meeting is being conducted through video conferencing in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act and the relevant circulars issued by Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. The proceedings of this annual general meeting are also being webcast live and can be viewed using the details provided in the notice of AGM. The annual report containing the board's report, corporate governance report, business responsibility and sustainability report, management discussion and analysis, the standalone and consolidated financial statements, along with the auditor's report and the notice of this AGM, has already been sent to the shareholders electronically at the registered email ID. Further, a letter has been sent to those members of the company whose email addresses are either not registered with the company or their depository participants, or to whom the communication could not be delivered at their registered email addresses. With your permission, we will take them as read. As the statutory auditor's report on the financial statements of the company for the financial year 25-26 and the secretarial audit report for the financial year 25-26 do not have any qualification, observation, disclaimer, or adverse remark, the said reports are not required to be read out at the meeting in terms of the applicable provisions of the Companies Act 2013. In order to enable the shareholders to vote on the resolutions, we had provided e-voting facility to NSDL platform. The remote e-voting period commenced at 9 a.m. IST on Friday, 17th July 2026 and ended at 5 p.m. IST on Tuesday, 21st July 2026. The voting rights were reckoned on the shares held by the members on the cutoff date, that is Wednesday, 15 July 2026. The e-voting facility is also available at the AGM and the detailed instructions are provided in the notes to notice of the AGM. In case you have not exercised your voting right through the remote e-voting facility, you are requested to cast your vote during the AGM. Voting will remain open up to 15 minutes from the conclusion of the AGM. Since e-voting facility has been provided, there is no requirement to propose and second the resolution as well to vote by show of hand at the meeting. The company has appointed Mr. S.N. Viswanathan, Practicing Company Secretary, or failing him, Ms. Ashwini Vardhak, Practicing Company Secretary, partners of Messrs. S.N. Ananta Subramanian and Company, Company Secretaries, as a scrutinizer to scrutinize the process of remote e-voting and e-voting during the AGM in a fair and transparent manner. The relevant documents required to be kept open at the AGM would remain open and accessible to any member of the company for inspection in electronic mode if they so desire until the conclusion of the meeting. Shareholders who wish to inspect these documents can write to us at investorrelations@kfintech.com. We will facilitate the inspection. I now invite our chairperson, Mr. M. V. Nair, to continue with the proceedings.
Thank you, Alpna. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all our stakeholders joining us from across India and around the world. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the annual general meeting of KFin Technologies Limited for financial year 2025-26. On behalf of the board, I thank you for your continued trust and support. I also express my gratitude to our clients, employees, partners, regulators, and all stakeholders whose contributions continue to strengthen our journey. Financial year 2025-26 was a year of steady progress. We delivered strong performance, strengthened our market position, and advanced our long-term strategy. More importantly, we continued our evolution from a domestic investor service provider into a technology-led financial infrastructure platform with growing global relevance and strong service delivery excellence for multi-investment strategies. Today, KFintech occupies an increasingly important position within the capital market infrastructure ecosystem. As markets evolve and participation expands, our role continues to grow. This gives us confidence as we look forward the opportunities ahead. India's financial ecosystem is undergoing a fundamental transformation. Increasing financial awareness, rising participation in capital markets, rapid digital adoption, and the shift of household savings towards financial assets are creating a powerful long-term growth opportunity. These trends are structural and enduring. KFintech sits at the center of this transformation, supporting institutions and investors through critical infrastructure and technology solutions. As India's investment ecosystem expands, we believe our relevance and opportunity will continue to increase. KFintech has evolved significantly over the last decade. While our registrar and transfer agency business remains a strong foundation, we have progressively built a broader platform spanning fund administration, issuer solutions, wealth, pensions, alternatives, and technology solutions. Today, we serve clients across multiple asset classes, jurisdictions, and currencies. Our capabilities extend beyond traditional servicing into enabling the broader investment life cycle. This transformation is the result of deliberate investments in technology, talent, innovation, customer relationships, and strategic opportunities. As a technology infrastructure provider and global footprints, we benefit from better scalability, greater resilience, stronger client engagement, and more diversified growth opportunities. We believe this positions KFintech well for sustainable value creation over the long term. An encouraging feature of our progress is the growth of our newer businesses. Fund administration, alternatives, pension services, wealth solutions, and data platforms continue to expand rapidly and address large unpenetrated markets. These businesses are helping us diversify revenues, deepen client relationships, and broaden our addressable market. They are growing at a faster pace than our traditional RTA businesses. They are becoming important pillars of KFintech's future growth and competitiveness. International expansion remains a key strategic priority. During the year, the integration of Ascent Fund Services significantly strengthened our global fund administration capabilities and expanded our presence across more than 18 countries. This has enhanced our access to clients, markets, and asset classes while broadening our service capabilities. It strengthens our ability to deliver technology, innovation, and operational excellence across geographies. We continue to see promising opportunities across our organic markets. Financial centers like Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, and India's GIFT City are witnessing rapid growth in investment activity and increasing demand for modern technology-enabled infrastructure. Our objective is not simply geographic expansion. We are building a globally relevant, technology-driven financial infrastructure platform capable of serving the evolving needs of the global capital markets. The wealth and pension industries are evolving across the world. Rising income levels, growing financial literacy, and increasing retirement planning are driving demand for modern and scalable solutions. Investors expect digitally integrated, multi-jurisdiction platforms that offer convenience, regulatory alignment, and deep analytical insights. KFintech is well positioned to participate in this opportunity. Our ability to build proven platforms and deploy them across markets allows us to deliver efficient, compliant, and scalable solutions to institutions and investors. We believe financial inclusion will increasingly be defined by long-term financial security and retirement readiness. Our platforms are designed to support this transition. Artificial intelligence and data are reshaping financial services globally. They are changing how institutions operate, make decisions, and engage with customers. At KFintech, we are embedding AI, analytics, and automation across our platforms. We continue to invest in agent-assisted, human-supervised, intelligent operating models that combine technology with deep domain expertise to enhance scalability, accuracy, and responsiveness. Our objective is simple: improve efficiency, enhance customer experience, strengthen decision-making, and create greater value for our clients. At the same time, we remain committed to the responsible innovation through strong governance, cybersecurity, and data protection practices. Trust remains the foundation of our business. Investors trust us with their records. Institutions rely on us for critical operations. Regulators expect the highest standards of compliance, integrity, and security. The board remains fully committed to strong governance, robust risk management, and responsible business practices. Cybersecurity, operational resilience, data protection, and regulatory compliance remains key priorities. We firmly believe sustainable growth can only be achieved when it is supported by trust, transparency, and accountability. At KFintech, as KFintech continues to grow, leadership development remains an important priority. During the year, Mr. Vivek Narayan Mathur was appointed to the board as a full-time director while continuing as a group chief financial officer. He has made significant contributions in strengthening financial discipline, governance, and execution capabilities across the organization. We look forward to his continued leadership as we pursue our long-term growth objectives. Strong institutions are built on thoughtful succession planning and leadership continuity. During the year, we welcomed Mr. Dinesh Kumar Khara as an independent director. His extensive experience leading one of the world's largest banking institutions brings significant expertise in financial services, technology transformation, governance, and risk management. As part of our succession plan, Mr. Khara will assume the role of non-executive independent chairman from October 1, 2026. I am confident that KFintech will benefit greatly from his leadership and experience as it enters its next phase of growth. The achievements of KFintech are the result of the commitment and dedication of our people. We continue to invest in talent development, leadership building, and a culture that encourages accountability, innovation, and continuous learning. Our employees have consistently demonstrated resilience, adaptability, and execution excellence. On behalf of the board, I extend my sincere thanks to every member of KFintech family for their contribution. The future presents significant opportunities. Global financial services are being transformed by technology, changing investor expectations, and the growing need for scalable and resilient platforms. KFintech is well positioned to participate in this evolution. Our strategy remains focused on strengthening client relationships, scaling growth businesses, expanding internationally, leveraging technology, and creating sustainable long-term value. As I reflect on my tenure as chairman, I am particularly encouraged by three developments. First, the emergence of multiple growth engines beyond our traditional businesses. Second, the expansion of our international footprint. And third, the strengthening of leadership and governance that will drive the company forward. Before I conclude, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the board, our employees, clients, shareholders, regulators, and all stakeholders for their trust and support throughout my tenure. It has been a privilege to be associated with the KFintech during the period of transformation. With strong foundations, expanding capabilities, and a clear sense of purpose, KFintech is well positioned for its next chapter of growth and value creation. On behalf of the board, I thank you once again for your trust and confidence and look forward to your continued support in the years ahead. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will now request Mr. Srikanth, our MD and CEO, also to address the shareholders. Srikanth.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. Very warm welcome to all of you to the 9th Annual General Meeting of KFin Technologies Limited. It's a privilege to have you with us today, and I thank you on behalf of the entire KFintech family for the time that you've taken to join us this morning. As they say, perseverance is an essential bridge between ambition and achievement. The year gone by has also been a defining year for KFintech in the sense that it has been a critical year in terms of providing the bridge that is required between the ambition and where we wanted. Now, what is that ambition that we wanted to accomplish? It is to become the first global fund administrator based out of KFin Technologies. And what is the perseverance that we have expressed and delivered to, which we believe has set the foundation that is required to accomplish that particular ambition? It is the firm commitment to expand across asset classes, across geographies, in order to be able to render multiple business solutions to drive the capital market infrastructure solutions, not just in India, but across the globe. We have explained the acquisition of the SN Fund Solutions based out of Singapore, which has now taken KFintech to be a global player. In time to come, I would explain to you in terms of the strides that we have made in a very limited period of time over the past 6 months. Now, it is a great time, for us to reminisce a little bit in terms of the year that had gone by. I would take a little bit of time in terms of explaining to you the broad financials, the execution to the strategy that we have set for ourselves for the preceding year, and explain a little bit in terms of how we foresee this year as well as coming years. Now, where do we stand today? Your entity continues to be the single largest fund administrator in India on the investor solution side, as well as on the issuer solution side. I take a specific nuance to call out in terms of why we're the largest. We are the largest in terms of managing the number of asset management companies that exist in India. We manage about 31 out of the 59. Their performance, of course, is a direct reflection in terms of our revenue and financials, which I'll explain to you. In terms of the management's performance, it gives me a great, pleasure to tell you that, over the last, 40 odd asset management companies that have launched, we have won over 23 of those asset management companies. So that speaks in terms of the success rate that we have managed to demonstrate, not just in adding the roster of the new asset management company clients, but also in helping the growth of those particular AMCs. I'm very happy to inform you that over 60% of the fastest growing AMCs are being sold by KFin Technologies today. We manage over 32% of the market in the form of assets under management, both at an overall level as well as on equity AUM level. The numbers have been steadily increasing. It used to be 26% about 5 years back. Nearly every single year, we have added about 100 basis points of expansion of the AUM on an overall market which has nearly tripled in as many years. We manage roughly about 20 odd million folios. Deduplicating it translates to roughly about 5 crore individuals in India. That translates to a little over 85% of every single financial investor who has ever come into the capital markets in the form of mutual funds. We believe that we continue to expand our solutioning and the differentiation for our clients to be able to service the investors, make them affluent, so that as a nation we achieve the dream of being financially independent. Issuer solutions, as we all know, has been a bellwether and, in fact, the very first business line that KFintech had started way back in 1986. After a long time, we have expanded our overall market share to beyond 50%. Today, we manage 52.3% of the total companies by market capitalization on Nifty 500. That number has steadily been expanding, over the past 4 to 5 years, both in terms of the number of the companies that we manage, the folios corresponding to that, as well as the revenues. 10,600 clients we manage today, of which about 1,000 of them are listed and about 9,000 plus are unlisted companies. We have been structurally the single biggest, fund administrator and the registrar and transfer agent in India to take some of the largest entities to go public. Many of them in the previous year include LG and others. We, in this space, manage about 16.7 crores of Indian investors in terms of the issuer solutions. So any investor who's invested in the secondary market or the primary market, the transaction processing associated with that is handled by your company. As Mr. Nair has already called out, whilst these two are the foundation and the citadel on which we are building a larger business solutions, it is indeed the younger businesses that we have orchestrated over the past 5 years which have started to give out the right kind of dividends that we were looking for. Just to summarize, the total 5-year CAGR of revenue growth for investor solutions on mutual funds is roughly about 18% on revenue. Issuer solutions is similar at 18%, but the alternate investment funds, the pensions, the global solutions, and the technology-driven revenues have been growing at a CAGR of 50%. Mind you, 50% on a 5-year period. So it is not a very tactical short-term growth spike that we are witnessing, but more a structural change. What has it, been the impact on our overall financials? I'll call out in a little while from now. But broadly, in terms of the snapshot of our business today, we manage, similar solutions across 18 different countries. India continues to be our single largest geography. All of Asia today, Middle East, parts of Europe, several offshore locations, including Mauritius, Cayman Islands, and in some time to come, hopefully Luxembourg, others are also going to be managed by us. In this space, we manage roughly about 36 plus crore folios. We have expanded our footprint in addition to not just being geographically spread, but also in terms of providing employment opportunities to our country. Today, this organization stands tall with about 7,000 employees who are contributing to the might of India's capital market system. As you can see here, the geographical footprint and the coverage has been steadily increasing. The year before, when we have come in front of you to present, our presence was largely India and 4 additional countries in Southeast Asia. Today, you can see the map getting colored with the blues of KFintech, and we believe that in time to come, you would see the expansion into several other continents. In terms of the value that we've been providing, largely for the similar clientele who have bases elsewhere in this world. The total assets under management today we manage is roughly about $350 billion. The speed at which we've been growing, we believe that in the next 4 to 5 years, we should cross over $1 trillion worth of assets to be managed by us across the continents today. You could roll over to the next slide, please. The financial performance, of course, is something that you have all been in receipt of the annual reports. I hope you have had sufficient time to go through the financials. As you could see, the overall growth uh, had moderated a bit. It suffices to say that, and in relation to the past 4 years. We clearly understand why. We know that the overall capital markets in India, after a fairly substantive growth post-COVID, have moved sideways. That obviously impacts any business which has a direct correlation to that. That, in addition to the fact that there has been, a certain amount of the pricing conversations that we have had to do with our clients, which is very important in terms of partnering for their growth, which evidently has been one of the cornerstones for the growth of this overall industry. And I'm sure it will come back to help us into the coming years. What it clearly speaks to you still is a substantial, revenue profile increase, close to 19.3% for the full year. This year includes the consolidation of 6 months of the revenue and the cost associated with that for the Ascent Fund Solutions. Excluding Ascent, we have still grown in double digits over 10%. In terms of the EBITDA margin, we continue to be in the range bound of 40 to 45%. Even for the full year, we are at 40.7%, including Ascent. Excluding Ascent, we are at about 43.7% in terms of the EBITDA margins, and the PAT numbers continue to look healthy. We believe that this particular growth is poised to come back into the coming year and into the outer years from here on. Overall, as an organization, we have come very close to crossing $150 million of the overall revenue for this year. And with the continued growth that we are seeing, we are hoping to cross the 2,000 crore turnover mark as well very, very soon. We could move on to the next slide, please. This is a very important feature in terms of our growth. We have a company, which is truly worth its salt, is something that we believe that will continue to compound on the three axes of revenue, EBITDA, and PAT. And a 20% plus CAGR growth over a 5-year period clearly indicates the resilience of this organization despite the vagaries of the market cycles. These 5 years, as we all know, also includes a bit of COVID, during which time the markets have corrected quite a bit. The last 18 months have been challenging for the Indian capital markets. In spite and despite of that, our total revenue from operations has grown over 22% CAGR. EBITDA margin has grown over 20% and PAT close to 25%. It is with this confidence that we have always been mentioning that we would be in a position to, on a medium to long-term basis, to be able to deliver to the revenue and into the margin numbers, notwithstanding the fact that there will always be a quarter or two, given the symbiotic relationship we have with that of the capital markets, where the numbers, could be slightly off. And, we have also seen quarters where there has been a substantial outperformance vis-a-vis the 20% CAGR that we're talking about. Now, our businesses, of course, as we all know, consists of the the biggest line of business continues to be mutual funds. Mutual funds business overall, CAGR year on year, the previous year has grown 10%, but as I said, the 5-year CAGR is roughly about 18%. Has crossed close to about 850 crores of turnover, close to $100 million in the revenue, and the overall AUM is continues to growing a little over 20% on the CAGR. Now, it should be noted that there obviously has been a shift in the overall asset mix in the industry. With the maturity of the markets, it is but understood that the investors would also gravitate towards asset classes which give short-term returns. For example, the year that had gone by had seen a substantial increase in ETFs driven by the metals, especially the gold and silver. Now, such mass movements from active equity into some of the passives obviously will have a certain impact on the revenue, but of course, these are short-term cyclical in nature. And as we have seen from this quarter onwards, it has been more equity that has been playing into into the growth of this industry. It is very, very important for the country's capital markets to substantively grow with active participation in equity. Investments into the entities of corporates and institutions was and will always be the primary driver for the growth of any country. And I believe that it is the right decision many an Indian has been taking over the past few quarters to rebalance the portfolio to continue to come back into the equity asset class. In mutual funds, we have added 6 new asset management companies into our fold. We have created several business solutions that have been helping our clients to substantively outperform. It is also with that confidence that, and also has been contributing to the substantial outperformance of our clients in comparison to the overall industry. And I hope that the investments into the technology that we are making, as our chairman has called out a little while back, has been one of the foundational driver for that. In a little while from now, I'll explain to you in terms of the strides that we're making on artificial intelligence and how it impacts our organization to the medium and the long term. We have also taken a very decisive step in this particular line of business to reward the singular stakeholder class which has been driving the mutual fund industry's growth into the country, that is the financial intermediaries and the distributors. It is in recognition of the value and the contribution that this particular subset of people, which is no more than 100,000 people managing the wealth of over 5 crore individuals who are putting in mutual funds industry, that we have launched a program called Ignite, which subsumes a large platform called Iris, which has been created with the singular purpose and focus to ensure the financial well-being of the distributors in our country. It has seen tremendous success, and we believe that the distributors will be in time to come substantially well off in their financial performance. That will further help the permeation of the financial assets into the overall Indian household, so to speak. We have also implemented a part of it that has gone live, a significant transformational initiative called FinX, which marks the foundational transformation of our entire core ERP, which is our moat as an organization, and the right to win for many an AMC's business to operate their solutions. And we have in the recent past published an article. If you have followed it, it tells you in terms of the significant transformation we brought to the industry. It had been nearly decades that something like an SIP registration process used to take anywhere between 20 to 30 days. And with artificial intelligence, largely depending on agentic AI, we managed to bring that down to 3 days. Under 3 days today, 99.7% of SIP registrations can be handled on our platform. This is the first of its kind, not just in India, but anywhere in the world this has been orchestrated. As we continue and complete the development of the program, which should complete in the next 9 months, we believe that it will usher in a new era of the solutions and the customer centricity, which never was hitherto seen in this industry prior to this. If you could move to the next slide, please. Speaking about the issue of solutions, as I've already called out, had been, my apologies, I'll speak about the international investor solutions. Why? Because this year, this particular line of business has displaced Issue Solutions to be our second largest business line, growing at over 50% organically. And with the acquisition of SN Fund Solution, as you could clearly see, it speaks about a 400% year-on-year growth. That is a consolidation of 6 months of revenue. This year, we will be consolidating the full year revenue, and you will see the impact of that in the overall financials. Now, the acquisition of Ascent not just provides us the geographical diversity that is required. It gives us access to 14 additional countries in addition to the world we were already present, but also diversification into substantive asset classes such as venture capital, private equity, hedge funds, digital currency funds, so on and so forth. That amount of diversification takes certain amount of over-reliance that exists today on the secondary markets, significantly helps us in terms of managing the vagaries of the market fluctuations, as well as the fact that this comes from multiple different geographies, including the United States of America, gives us both the currency edge that we need, as well as the fact that some of the geographies always tend to outperform some of the other geographies. In times like the preceding year, it has helped SN, for example, to grow at a 40% plus, growth as against, in India, of course, we grew just about, 10% in the case of mutual funds. So the outperformance of the international business, which is growing at about 50% CAGR, will mean, should this number just mathematically computing over the next 4 to 5 years, should reach the size of close to 30% of the total book, which means that the dependency on a singular asset class on a singular geography will come down well below 50%, which had been truly one of the strategic goals that this organization had taken under the chairmanship of Mr. Nair, as well as the guidance of the board. The acquisition also helps us to provide significant amount of business solutions that exist elsewhere in the world to bring them to our nation, as well as the technological edge that we have in India in terms of processing hyperscale high volume transactions to many of the other geographies where probably the volume is not very large, but the ticket sizes are very large and the bespokeness is quite significant as well. So it is a cross pollination of ideas coming from rest of the world into India, and the technological solution that we are able to take from India to the rest of the world that truly had been setting us apart in terms of winning as well as claiming the right to win across geographies and across asset classes in the world. If you could turn to the next slide, please. I spoke about Ascent. This is a brief snapshot in terms of the 6 months revenue. We're talking about $11 million that we have consolidated in the previous year. On a full year basis, it translates to roughly around $23-24 million. On the growth vector that we are seeing, we hope to cross 30 million, and that amount of growth naturally compounds. And as I said, should increase the share of the international business in the overall pie of the overall KFintech business to expand quite substantially in the years to come. It is a young organization started by a highly skilled entrepreneurs based out of Singapore and in Dubai, and in a very short period of time have managed to scale up a wonderful business. And also it takes, and it's a matter of pride for me also to help you understand that the organization has broken even into the preceding 6 months in terms of the overall gross margins, and hopefully will turn positive on the PAT as well into the coming year. The expansion of that into 18 countries also has happened over a period of time. It is not on a singular day that 18 different geographies have started. In the previous year alone, close to 6 new countries have started, notably with the US. Many of these geographies, I'm sure you would appreciate the fact that they offer a massive amount of addressable market. United States of America, for example, itself is over $80 trillion assets in public market funds, and a much higher number when you add the private market funds. Even at the tiniest sliver of that would help our organization to grow multiple in the coming years. The chart also explained to you in terms of where the assets are located and where the revenue is coming. A third of the assets are located in Singapore and Hong Kong region, a third in the Middle East, and a third in the rest of the world, including Cayman Islands, the US, the UK, so on and so forth. In terms of the asset classes, the single largest one continues to be the hedge fund management, followed by private equity and the venture capital and the real estate funds. Now, these are all asset classes that are due to grow substantively in India, which also helps us to be the front runner in terms of managing many of the solutions for the India domestic business in time to come, much like how we managed to do with the alternate investment funds in India thus far. If you could move to the next slide, please. The issue solutions I spoke about, the very first line of business we've started, continues to grow at about 18% CAGR over the past 5 years. The year had gone by was the year of remarkable client acquisition. We have won 2,600 new corporates in a singular year. We have also orchestrated transitions of several large corporates into KFintech's mothership, that notably including BPCL, Punjab National Bank, and many others. Notwithstanding a decent exodus of retail folios from the industry, we continue to grow this business in double digits, and we believe that with the market turning around the corner, we will have the dual advantage of not just the IPOs that are happening at this point in time, as well as the folio expansion, thereby driving the revenue growth into the coming years for us. It is also important to call out at this point in time that, much like in the case of investor solutions on the mutual funds, we are also transforming the entire ERP with AI native first solution, which is going to add several new feathers into India's secondary market ecosystem in terms of how quickly can we take companies to go public, what differentiated solution can we offer to the investors, to the shareholders. On the bottom right hand, you would see a title called AGIX, AEGIX. I just want to call out that this is the first platform, not just in India, but across the globe, which is AI native, which is created with the singular purpose of investor relations furtherment in terms of how a corporate would be able to add several new investors into the organization, how we service them, how we interact, and how we engage with our investor portfolios is a phenomenal thing. Now, it's something that we are using it ourselves, starting into this year. We believe that it has a significant role to play in the investor relations function across the listed companies, and hopefully in time to come the unlisted companies as well. We can cut over to the next slide, please. The alternatives and private investment, private wealth management, we have, as I said, called growing at about 50% year on year, both on the assets as well as on the revenue. Starting on a very small base of about 10, 12 crores. Last year we have crossed 75 crores of turnover. And at this pace, we should start, getting into double digit in terms of the overall pie of the revenue. This larger umbrella of asset class also includes wealth management solution. As you are aware, 18 months back, we ventured into wealth management as a business function, largely creating the first of its kind technological platform as well as the underlying service layer. It's a matter of pride for us that we have signed up with 3 wealth managers in the preceding year, and we have a large pipeline. As the affluence of Indian investors grows, the ability to self-manage a large corpus of funds comes down, and most of the Indians, as is the case with the rest of the world, would gravitate towards professional wealth managers. It is these professional wealth managers who need the support, much like how we have done it in the case of asset management, that we have created the platform called Empower Wealth, which is on the back of the acquisition we've made in 2022 for Hexagram. And this particular platform is globally relevant, not just in India. In due course of time, hopefully we'll be able to announce to you some wins in the global arena as well. You could move to the next slide, please. The national pension system, young, as again many of you know, we've started all of these just about 4 to 5 years back, starting with a very small base of little about few crores of rupees, across about 16 crores turnover, and has been going over 35% in the previous year, but overall CAGR of 50%. If you see the 5-year basis, we have carefully chosen to participate and drive the retail expansion of the pensions. India is still not a very pensionable society. It is extremely important for the citizens of the country, to subscribe to pension products, for securing their retirement age. And whilst it is mandatory for the state and central government employees, it is for the private citizens that we've taken a much larger focus, largely through our platform and technology-led business solutions. It's a matter of pride for me to tell you that we've been growing at 3 times the pace of the overall industry, and this has been consistent trend over the past 3 years. And we believe that we can grow much faster than how we have grown thus far in this particular line of business. If you could move on, please, to the next slide. What does all of this mean? I kind of initially called out in terms of the strategic bets that we have taken. Whilst we consolidate, transform, drive productivity, add significant business solutions to our core business clients, which is the mutual fund business in India, as well as the corporate solutions. The younger businesses, the other 3, that is the alternatives, the international, the pensions, and the other businesses together, have been growing at 2.5 times the pace of our traditional businesses, which has clearly altered the mix of our overall revenue profile. 38%, I think, is the important number that we need to keep in mind. If we were to take the previous year's full, if we were to have consolidated in its entirety, is the total mix of non-mutual fund revenue in the previous year. This year, it will cross 40%, having consolidated the full year. And the dependency on the mark-to-market or the assets under management, which is beyond our control, is well below 57%. That is the dependency of mutual funds business on the mark-to-market or the overall AUM is 57% today, because the rest of it is large technological solutions we provide to our clientele. It is this number that we continue to work towards expanding the other pies of businesses, so that there is a lot of synergies that happen amongst these asset classes, both technological, people-wise, as well as the business solutions that we're able to articulate. It is also very important to note as to why this transition is important. Nearly every asset management company also has alternatives. They also are venturing into wealth. They're also looking to expand their horizon into GIFT City and beyond the country. So that natural convergence is extremely important, and being one of the few entities in the world who can do all of them together at scale, technologically driven, and across all asset classes, gives this organization the edge that it is required into the coming years of growth. If you could move to the next slide, please. So this is I will take just a few minutes in terms of the technology. Since we spoke quite a bit about what is that, how we are positioning ourselves to be a tech-first company into this particular space. Broadly, in terms of investments, 230 crores have been spent in the previous year on technology alone. It marks close to 18% of our revenue. I just want to call to your attention that this used to be 6% of our revenue in 2020. Now, that amount of expansion of a percentage on the revenue as well as in absolute numbers clearly demonstrate our commitment to make KFintech one of the largest tech-first companies in terms of the capital market infrastructure layer. These solutions not just have provided the necessary resilience that is required for the massive expansion of the volumes, the data requirements, the cybersecurity requirements, as well as the growing cost of the hardware, thanks to the AI trade, thanks to the war, so on and so forth. But these have been continually giving us the edge in terms of entering into the new geographies, new asset classes. Much of that, I guess, is the best of it, is ahead of us at this point in time. Nearly 1,350 strong IT engineers spread across Hyderabad, Bhubaneswar, where the Center of Excellence for Data resides, Center of Excellence for AI and Mobility Solutions in Vijayawada, and soon to start a location in GIFT City in Ahmedabad are all going to be the principal drivers for the growth of the headcount as well as the revenue for this organization into the coming years. Keeping in line with the technological infrastructure, it was also very important, and it was time for the organization also to change the front end and the facade of the physical infrastructure of our organization. We have invested substantial amount of money and will continue to do so a little bit into the coming year as we conclude the program of modernizing our branches, which are spread across 250 locations in India, to clearly reflect in terms of the growing the strides the organization is making, as well as it representing a global fund administrator. It is in that line that we have also expanded our overall office space in Hyderabad, in Bhubaneswar, and in GIFT City, in addition to new spaces that we are consolidating in Malaysia. Overall product revenue is very critical. These are some of the controllable revenues. The technological infrastructure, that investments that we are making, also helps us to recover some of those investments as we render these solutions to our clients. And as you could clearly see, close to about 100 crores of revenue has been delivered largely on the back of the technological investments we made through value-added solutions that have been offered to many of our clients. Strategically, in terms of our core focus into the coming year and years will definitely be to create the first AI native platform in India, not just in India, hopefully across the globe in terms of fund administration. It gives us certain amount of edge that we have completed the data normalization 4 years back, that you can actually leverage the power of AI. Many institutions tend to put AI first with their data stack not having been solved. That is a suboptimal way of working, but we believe that having already completed that particular activity, we are in a primal position to complete the build out of the AI native fund admin platform into the coming year across the business classes, whether it is mutual funds, issuer solutions, so on and so forth. You can move to the next slide, please. It's but obvious that such large scale transformations, are led by the people who are truly worth the salt. And I'm truly blessed to have not just a wonderful board led by our chairman who have been guiding us, mentoring us, showing us a vision, but also an execution team which is par excellence. You have met many of my team members back in the day. Mr. Vivek Narayan Mathur, sitting to my left, has been an absolute pillar of support, being the CFO and now on the board of KFintech. We have also the vintage of many of the leadership team that you see here are well above a decade plus in this organization and many, many years, in broader industry. We believe that as we expand this organization, greater opportunities, have come to many of our leaders. Many of leaders today manage a global portfolio, whether it is on the technology side, whether it's on the business development, whether it's on the financial services or operations, thereby creating some of the most critical talent that our country itself will need in time to come, as the capital markets tend to converge globally and locally, especially in the form of GIFT City kind of locations where the boundaries tend to blur, and the skill set that kind of transcends across geographies is very, very critical. So I thank every one of my team members, who have contributed the growth thus far, but also will only tell all of them that it is just the beginning of the growth and the future which I see to be extremely bright for this organization. We could move to the next slide, which speaks about our board. Ms. Nair has already called out our new addition to the board members. I warmly welcome Mr. Dinesh Kumar Thara. He needs no introduction to anybody in this country, and I'm truly blessed and privileged to to work under his leadership into the coming years. We could move to the next slide, please. In terms of the headcount, I've already called out, close to about 7,000 people. One of the feedback we've received in one of the first AGMs was about the diversity ratio, both in terms of the gender as well as the geographical dispersion. Happy to inform you that today nearly 30% of the total headcount of KFintech are women employees. They perform a wide variety of roles, whether it is doing customer service, large business financial processes, business development, technology, UI UX, AI, and so on and so forth. We continue to expend significant amount of energies and monies on the training and development of our organization. And to that extent, happy to inform you that we have recently been certified for CMMI level 3, speaking volumes in terms of our technological proficiency, as well as on the ESG front. We have expanded a total from 49 to 63 in terms of the score as has been accorded by CRISIL, which marks one of the single largest jump for any corporate in a single year. You could move to the next slide, please. The next one. Thank you. On the CSR front, we have adopted tribal, schools and the education of the tribal children across the country, which used to be in a single state, single city, has now expanded to 3 different locations. In time to come, we believe that we'll be able to spread it across the nation as the total corpus that is available for the CSR continues to expand on the back of the overall growth of the organization. The year also had been a profoundly impactful year in terms of the market recognition of the many awards that we have won. The excellence in fintech for the best use for AI in no less than the global fintech festival that our countries, India's marquee fintech festival that happens every single year, calls out. We have won the best award, beating many of the titans in this industry from a technology standpoint. We'll move to the next slide, please. I will wrap up the conversation in terms of just painting a picture into the coming years. Broadly, we are doubling down our commitment in terms of operational excellence. The integration of Ascent is complete. We intend to maximize the growth that is available ahead of us in terms of each of the operating geographies, with a significant focus on the operating performance, improving the margins, and continuing to lay down the path that is required for a 20% compounding growth, as we have done in the past 5 years, into the next 5 years. There are a lot of items that are going to contribute in terms of people, but that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it with. But before I close, I just want to once again thank, not just our team, but Ms. Nair, who had been my guide, my mentor as well. We have been through turbulent times, about 6 to 7 years back, and it has been under his leadership and guidance. I have learned enormously, and so has my team. Sir, it is under your chairmanship that this company has, added wealth, not just to the shareholders, but also resilience to the India's capital markets. At this point in time, I'm also very, very pleased to welcome Mr. Dinesh Kumar on our board as independent director. And I'm sure I would learn a lot more under him into the coming years and continue to deliver to not just expectation of the shareholders, but also every citizen in our country who is a financial investor. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Shrikant. Thank you for leading KFintech to where it is today, with a lot of expectation for the future. I now request Ms. Alpana to present the items on the agenda to the shareholders. Alpana.
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I will proceed with the statutory items as included in the notice of AGM and other matters. I will now brief on all the resolutions included in the notice of AGM. Once I finish the customary process of briefing on the resolutions, we will invite the members who have registered themselves as the speakers to ask questions or seek clarifications or express their views from the management. Item number 1 of the notice is an ordinary resolution, which is to consider and adopt the standalone and consolidated audited financial statements of the company for the financial year ended 31st March 2026 and the reports of the Board of Directors and auditors thereon. The auditors has issued an unmodified opinion on the financial statements. The board has recommended these financial statements for adoption by the members. Item number 2 of the notice is an ordinary resolution, which is to declare final dividend on the equity shares for the financial year ended 31st March 2026. Item number 3 of the notice is an ordinary resolution, which is to reappoint Mr. Shantanu Rastogi, who retires by rotation as a nominee director and being eligible has offered himself for the reappointment. Item number 4 of the notice is a special resolution which is to approve the revision in the remuneration of Mr. Venkata Satyanaga Shrikant Nadega, Managing Director and CEO of the company. Item number 5 of the notice is a special resolution which is to approve the increase in the remuneration of Mr. Alok Chandra Misra, Non-Executive Director of the company. Item number 6 of the notice is a special resolution which is to consider and approve appointment of Mr. Dinesh Khara as an independent director of the company and approve his remuneration thereof. Item number 7 of the notice is a special resolution which is to consider and appoint Mr. Vivek Narayan Mathur as a full-time director of the company and approve his remuneration thereof. We will now invite the members who have registered themselves as speakers to ask questions or seek clarification or express their views from the management. They will be unmuted and will be allowed to ask questions when called upon by the moderator. We will respond to all the questions and queries in one go. Considering the high registrations from the speakers, in the interest of the time, I request members to keep their questions and comments in brief and not to repeat the questions which have already been asked by the fellow members. I also request members not to take more than 2 minutes. This will ensure that other members get an opportunity to ask questions. May I now request the moderator to please invite the shareholders one by one. Over to you, moderator.
Thank you, Ms. Alpana. We will now begin with the question and answer session. I once again request the speaker to keep their questions brief and limit to the performance of the company. Now I invite our first speaker, Mr. Santosh Kumar Saraf, to kindly raise his question. Please accept the prompt on your screen, kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
Respected Chairman and Board members, सर सबसे पहले रत्ना जी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि हमने 1 घंटे तक आपको सुना है। आप कहते हैं 2 मिनट में, तो 2 मिनट तो नमस्कार करने में निकल जाते हैं। तो प्लीज पहला स्पीकर को थोड़ा टाइम दे दीजिएगा। मैं ज्यादा नहीं और पॉइंट की बात करूंगा आपसे। ऑनरेबल चेयरमैन, बोर्ड मेंबर ऑफ बोर्ड, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर, सीईओ एंड सीएफओ एंड कंपनी सेक्रेटरी and my fellow shareholders. Good morning, Ram Ram. My name is Santosh Kumar from Kolkata. At the outset, I congratulate board and entire KFin Technology team for another year of healthy operation performance in the financial 25-26. Company continue to strengthen its position as one of the leading technology-driven financial platform while expanding globally and investing in innovation. Sir, annual report reflect management continued focus on digital transformation, technology-led growth, operational excellence, customer centricity, and sustainable governance. I appreciate recorded a final dividend of ₹12 per share, demonstrating confidence in the company financial position while balancing future investment. I also appreciate company continues investment in AI-enabled solutions such as AGIX, digital first operation, cyber security, talent development, internal expansion. These incentives indicate K Technology is preparing itself for the next phase of the growth in the global financial technology ecosystem. While congratulations management, would like to seek some strategic clarification from you, sir. Sir, for management actively evaluating acquisition in the India or overseas. First, sir. Second, will future acquisition focus on technology capability or customer acquisition or global expansion, sir? Finally, Chairman, sir, KFin Technology has a strong reputation as a trust technology partner of the financial service industry. Company emphasis on the digital transformation, AI-led innovation, operational excellence, government, and global expansion provide a solid foundation for the sustained long-term growth. As a shareholder, we look forward continued improvement in the profitability, customer experience, technology leadership, responsible AI adoption, disciplined capital allocation, and expansion in the new market agent financial technology. Sir, lastly, I thank board management, employee, auditor, all stakeholders for their dedication. Wish for our company continued success in creating sustainable value for all shareholders. Thank you, sir. I wish company all very best for the financial 26-27 and beyond. Thank you for giving me opportunity. I take time some more. My excuse me for me because in the once a year we meet with you, so we have so many questions in our brain. Excuse me for this, and hope for the next year we meet with good result. And also thank the secretary and her team. Very nice service. They always touch with us and always ask if you have any question to send and what is your speaker number, you link received downloads. I think it will continue in the future. Thank you. Ram Ram. Namaskar.
Thank you, Mr. Saraf. I request our next speaker, Mr. Manjeet Singh, to kindly raise his questions. Please accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
Are you audible?
You're audible, sir. Kindly proceed with your question. Thank you.
KFintech की मैनेजमेंट टीम, सेक्रेटरियल टीम और माय को शेयर होल्डर, मैं सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। गुड आफ्टरनून सर। हमारी प्रोग्रेस का पैमाना फोर्थ क्वार्टर, जिसके रिजल्ट बड़े अच्छे रहे हैं। आगे आने वाले टाइम में उम्मीद करते हैं हम इसी तरह के रिजल्ट इसी साल भी आएंगे। हमारे व्यापार के अंदर एआई का कितना इम्पैक्ट रहा है और आने वाले टाइम में किस तरह की योजनाएं हैं, एआई का क्या प्रभाव रहेगा हमारे व्यापार पर, केफिन पर, आप थोड़ा इस बारे में बताएंगे तो हमें कंपनी के बारे में और जानकारी मिलेगी। सर, लिस्टिंग के बाद अब कंपनी दावेदार हो गई है बोनस के लिए। आने वाले किसी बोर्ड मीटिंग के अंदर ऐसा कोई योजना आए तो उसका हम स्वागत करेंगे और आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करेंगे। चेयरमैन स्पीच में आपने कंपनी के वर्तमान और भविष्य के बारे में बताया और सवाल बनते नहीं हैं आपसे पूछने। बाकी आगे मार्जिन के लिए क्या कार्य योजना है हमारी, थोड़ा आप इस बारे में बताइए। ये जो आज का समय हमने आपके साथ साझा करा है, ये आगे आने वाले टाइम में हमारी इन्वेस्टमेंट को मजबूत करेगा, इसकी हम आपसे आशा करते हैं और भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं। वेल एंड टाइम बैलेंस शीट बनाकर सेक्रेटरियल डिपार्टमेंट ने जिस तरह से आगाज किया है इस एजीएम का, सेक्रेटरियल डिपार्टमेंट का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस बहुत अच्छा है हमारी कंपनी का, आगे कंपनी और तरक्की करे, इसकी हम आशा करते हैं। थैंक यू फॉर द मैनेजमेंट टीम, थैंक यू फॉर द सेक्रेटरियल टीम। थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
Thank you, Mr. Manjeet Singh. I request our next speaker, Mr. Kamal Kishore Jhawar, to kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
हेलो, मेरा आवाज आ रहा है सर?
You're audible, sir. Kindly
Okay,
proceed.
thank you, madam. हमारे चेयरमैन सर वेंकट सत्या साहब, हमारे मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर सीईओ एंड श्रीकांत साहब एंड अनदर डायरेक्टर होल्डम डायरेक्टर विवेक साहब, सबको नमस्कार साहब। मैं ये केफिन में बहुत सालों से जुड़ा हूँ सर, और आपका जो प्रेजेंटेशन बताए साहब इतना डिटेल से आज तक हमने कोई दूसरी कंपनी का नहीं देखे। आप इतना वंडरफुल बताया, एक एक चीज बारीकी, तो वो बनाने वाले और आपने जो बनाया मैं उसके लिए बधाई देता हूँ साहब। कि क्या एक एक बारीक चीज में बिजनेस का, ओनर्स का, पाइपलाइन सब बता दिए, तो हमको बहुत अच्छा लगा साहब। और हमारे सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट का टीम अच्छा है सर। सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट ने हमारे को लिंक भी प्रोवाइड करे और हमारे को बैलेंस शीट भी आ गया, उनको सेक्रेटरी डिपार्टमेंट का सर्विस बहुत अच्छा है। और हम आप इसी तरह वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस करके सर, और नेक्स्ट सर अपना अच्छा अपना रिस्पॉन्स, आईपीओ में भी बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स है साहब। नए नए जो आईपीओ और अपना नंबर 1 में इंडिया में केफिन का ही नाम है, तो ये भी बहुत सबसे बड़ी बात है आपकी जो हार्ड वर्क, जो मेहनत करके भी IPO वाले, उसके बाद से भी बहुत अच्छा सर्विस मिल रहा है साहब। और इसी तरह वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस के सर, और नेक्स्ट 2026 2027 में आपका एक रफली रेवेन्यू कितना आ सकता है, प्रॉफिट कितना आ सकता है, एक रफली गेस थोड़ा बताइए सर। और आते सब पूरे फेस्टिवल की आपको शुभकामनाएं देता हूँ। थैंक यू सर। हाँ, मारू नाम पुकार।
Thank you, Mr. Kamal Kishore. I request our next speaker, Mr. Bharat Raj, to raise his questions. Please accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question. Mr. Bharat Raj, we request you to kindly proceed with your question.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Chairman sir, Managing Director sir, entire Board of Directors and KMPs of my company. First of all, sir, wonderful chairman speech by my Mr. Srikanth, my MD. Lot of information is given, sir. I support all the resolutions and I thank last financial year performance, sir. I thank the Secretary Department. Intend send me the link and the annual report also, sir. Chairman sir, my question is, what is your capex plan for this financial year, sir? We are in 18 countries, sir. I'm very proud that KFin is in 18 countries, sir. In future, can we reach 50 countries, sir? What is your plans to reach 50 countries? Please let me know, sir. Once again, I want to bring to your knowledge there is a technical glitch because last year, whenever we reached as a speaker shareholder, we KFin will send a link. If you touch that link, you can directly join the AGM. But this year, when we touch the link, we cannot join the sir. Again, we should go to the KFin site and we should log in, sir. So there is a technical glitch via this year, sir. Please look into this, sir, because the coming days a lot of huge meetings are going on. So every time we cannot go and join into the site and we cannot join, sir. So please rectify that technical glitch because KFin is very professional and a very good organization, sir. Once again, sir, my best wishes to you and thanks for the dividend payout. Take care. God bless you all. I'm Bharatra signing off from Hyderabad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bharat Raj. I request our next speaker, Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta, to raise his questions. Please accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question. Thank you. Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta, we request you to kindly proceed with your question. No response received. I request Mr. Shrikant Jhavar to kindly proceed with your question. No response received. I request Mr. Naresh Babu to kindly proceed with your question. Please accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Naresh. And here, like we are very happy with the services that we are getting from KFin Technologies, and we are happy with the performance of the shares, KFin Tech shares. And here the question is, how is the company integrating ECG and sustainability initiatives into its overall business strategy? And what are the key priorities and goals in this area going forward? And the second question, sir, like as the markets, like all the markets, like performing not based on the numbers, like now it is completely depending upon the Trump policies and strategies. Like, what are the uh, outcome that we are getting based on that policies? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Naresh. I request our next speaker, Mr. Samrat Sarkar, to raise his questions. Please accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
Hello, am I audible?
You are audible. Kindly proceed with your question. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Chairman, sir. Thank you for this opportunity. I have the following three questions. Number one, how do you perceive our revenues to grow annually in the next few years, and where do you see our margins to sustain in the long term? And number two is the revenue growth of the domestic mutual fund investor solution business is around 10.5% year on year. So, do you expect similar kind of growth for the domestic mutual fund business going forward? And what is the operating margins for the domestic mutual fund business? And my last question would be, why have our margins dipped in FY26 and more particularly in the last quarter of FY26 as compared to the previous years? So our margins in our international investor solution segment much lower than our India business. That's it from my side, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sarkar. I request our next speaker, Mr. Reddappa Gunduluru, to raise his questions. Please accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question. No response
Thank you.
received?
Yeah, madam. I'm there, madam. Moderator has given very
Thank you.
lately. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
First of all, respected Chairman, Mr. Vishwanathan Mavelli Nair, sir, and Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Venkata Satya Naga Srikant Nadella Garu, Full-Time Director, and CFO, Mr. Vivek Narayan Mathurji, Company Secretary and Compliance Officer, Ms. Alpana Kunduji, and all other independent directors, non-executive directors, nominee directors, statutory directors, scrutinizers, moderator, and my fellow shareholders. Good morning. Namaste, Srikant sir. Myself, Reddappa Gunduluru, attending this AGM from Hyderabad. As a long-term shareholder, my company, KFin Technology, is, I'm very happy, proud, sir. So I am very delighted and proud shareholder and outstanding performance of our company. At the outset, I sincerely thank my company secretary, Ms. Alpana Kundugaru, for promptly sending the physical copy as requested. Thank you so much. And I truly appreciate the professionalism of the shareholders' friendly approach and secretary team. Sir, there is no technical glitch, sir. We were updated. So earlier there is a problem a couple of years back. Now there is no problem. So I am facing very good network, sir. Thank you so much. And the annual report is exceptionally well designed. The theme is broadening horizons and also strengthening the leadership executive, expand and evolve. The beautifully reflect my company's vision. Every page is very informative, sir, colorfully, and also supporting all the meaningful data photographs clearly and a remarkable journey the growth, sir. So, Srikant sir, your address was highly informative and inspiring. The financial performance has been excellent, sir. Revenue from operation and also numbers are very good, sir. Even PAT, return on equity, everything, sir. I am also thankful for the recommending the 60% of dividend, the 12 rupees per share. I am very happy, sir. You are giving bread and butter to the stakeholder. God bless you. Sir, I am particularly about the domestic leadership to the global relevance is a proudly as a shareholder, as a Hyderabadi, as an Indian. I'm very proud, sir. You are giving the very good technology-driven growth strategy to the future-ready infrastructure and the focus innovation. My company's strong competitive motto through the mission, the critical infrastructure, deep technology integration, artificial intelligence capabilities, the high entry barriers make me very confident about the long-term future, sir. I am proud about some appreciation is there, sir. Please provide this 1 minute extra time. Presence across the 18 plus countries with 30 global offices, services to the 10,000 issuer customers, management of the 1,600 plus investment funds, more than 36 billion the investor folios, actually processing of over 2.5 million the transaction daily, sir. It's a very proud moment. God bless you. Congratulations. And also another the appreciation is more than 2.2 million pension subscribers we are doing, sir. Sir, especially the chairman, sir, in page number 46, annual report. The chairman, sir, smiling is very wonderful, sir. It reflects confidence to the positivity. శ్రీకాంత్ సార్ మీరు కూడా కొంచెం నవ్వండి సార్ మీ స్మైల్ కూడా మాకు ఇంకా షేర్హోల్డర్స్ ఇంకా కాన్ఫిడెంట్ ఇస్తుంది సో ప్లీజ్ స్మైల్ లిటిల్ టూ యువర్ స్మైల్ ఆల్సో గివ్స్ కాన్ఫిడెంట్ టు షేర్ హోల్డర్ ఐ అప్రిషియేట్ ది management entire the AGM support team conducting the meeting very smoothly. Sir, I have few questions, sir. I'm going, sir. What are the company's growth plans for the expanding business the international markets over the 3 to 5 years? Second question is, how is my company KFin Technology leveraging AI with automation and improve the operational efficiency to the customer experience, sir? Third question, what is the roadmap for increasing the revenue contribution from the non-mutual fund businesses such as the pensions, insurance, and global issuer prices? I would like to know, sir. Sir, fourth question, sir, only a couple of questions more. Can the management please share its long-term capital allocation strategy regarding the dividends, acquisitions, and also investment technology. I would like to know. Final questions are: what are the key growth drivers for the board? Board believes will help sustain our strong financial performance in the coming years, sir. Finally, Chairman and MD, sir, entire board of directors, we have complete faith on you, trust on you. Go ahead, take appropriate decisions, sir. Please continue taking bold and prudent decisions for the long-term growth for our company. I am confident that under your leadership, my company KFin Technology will achieve many more higher milestones awards and under your under globally and also internationally, sir, globally. So I pray God to give more KMPs, all the employees, the wisdom, strength, power, health, entire board of directors. Thank you so much, sir. You are giving world-class #1 technology. Especially, I would like to thank the corporate governance, world-class corporate governance, sir. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. Thank entire the moderators of the KFin platform. They are arranging very good the service to all the stakeholders. We are very happy, sir. With no technical issue over here. You are the KFin platform, sir. I'm very proud shareholder. God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Redappa. I request our next speaker, Mr. Jaideep Bakshi, to kindly accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
Very good afternoon, Chairman and MD and Board of Directors. Myself, Jaideep Bakshi, connecting from the city of Kolkata. First of all, I convey my thanks to our Company Secretary Alpana Madam for giving the opportunity and maintaining good investor-friendly relations with the shareholders and presenting a detailed and informative annual report. And also to our Kolkata office, Ms. Dipti Madam, for her active support to the shareholders and ready to help us always when we reach with our queries. Sir, the initial speech along with the video presentation was very much informative. It was fully detailed about our company affairs, and thanks once again goes to all involved for the dividend you have passed on to us. And also congrats for the strong performance and the steady growth. Sir, enjoying the smooth portal and the effective since the start of the VC for the AGMs. Whenever we find the emails, the Charisma link, we are sure that we are there. We have got the link from the different companies. And thanks for the smooth speaker registration and also the smooth joining process for different meetings, whichever we attend every year. And though there may be some glitches, but overall it's a smooth process. And what are the steps are we taking for the data protection, because that's a very vital area, and what are our long-term plans for the growth and value creation both nationally and internationally, and investor service in this competitive market, how we plan to make it, and how do any risk factors do we foresee in our nature of business, and can we have some awareness programs so that we can on the trading liquidity or the evolving market in the present situation, so that we can get updated regularly. I've supported all the resolutions. I support this strong governance and the reliability and the trust which we have, and with the customers' expectation, I think our company will come out with much better results and better performance in the years to come, and continue with this VC so that we can get easily connected, and have supported all the resolutions. That's all from my side. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Bakshi. I request our next speaker, Ms. C.E. Mascarenas, to raise her questions. Please accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
Hello, am I audible?
You're audible, madam. You're audible and visible. Kindly proceed.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Respected Chairman, Mr. Vishwanath Mavila Nair, MD and CEO Shrikant, other honorable directors on the board. I am Mrs. Mascarena speaking from Mumbai. First of all, I have to say a big thanks to our secretary Alpana Kundu and her team for sending me an annual report and also registering me as a speaker at my request and giving me this beautiful platform to speak. Annual report is full of information, facts, figures, self-explanatory, voluminous, adhering to all the norms of corporate governance. Our working is good dividend of rupees 12, good capital appreciation, sustainability, and assured future growth is assured in the times to come, because we are in so many businesses. Congratulations for all the awards and accolades received. good CSR work. ESG and climatic changes are well documented in our annual report. Now I come to the queries. How much revenue is earned by the National Pension Scheme, which has started about 4 to 5 years back, and how much margins we are getting in this under this scheme? We have total 7,000 employees. We have out of that 1,350 IT employees and 200 AI ML trained professionals. What is the male female ratio, attrition level, average age? And if the attrition is high, how do you try to keep these trained professionals? Whether you will give ESOPs? My next question is, we are we are sending 4.2 billion emails per year. How much we charge for each email? Do we do financial inclusion business? How much is spent on cyber and data security? How much is the global business to domestic business in percentage? How much capex will be required for the next 3 years for organic as well as inorganic growth, maybe by acquisitions, as scope for the business is very, very huge here, and also say wealth management also. Now, this is my personal question, sir. You must give a year. Now, I'm having there are many shareholders like me who are having physical shares taken about 30 years back when we were working. And since they remain, now please help us. Your team should help us in the KYC and dematting easily, because this will relieve our tension and it will help us to look after our medical needs, which is so much required in the old age, especially knee replacements and other things. So please, you tell your team and you also take interest, because we will send our blessings once we go away also. So please, don't delay, because we find our shares are not dematting that easily. Now, lastly, the future roadmap for the next 5 years, which vertical or verticals will be the growth engine along with good margins, as there is lots of opportunities and very much sustainable businesses. With this, I thank you very much. I wish my company entire team very good health, because health will bring wealth and it will give prosperity to us also by way of capital appreciation, dividend. So my whole prayers are to this company. Thank you so much. And I end up saying a namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am. I request our next speaker, Mr. Ajay Jain, to raise his questions. Please accept the prompt on your screen, unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
नमस्कार चेयरमैन सर, मैं दिल्ली से अजय कुमार जैन कंपनी का शेयर होल्डर बोल रहा था। क्वेश्चन कोई बनता ही नहीं है, इतनी अच्छी आपने इतनी चेयरमैन स्पीच और एमडी सर ने बताया और बहुत अच्छा करके दिखाया। जहां आपने लास्ट ईयर एजीएम को खत्म किया था और जो प्रोजेक्शन दिए थे उससे भी अच्छा करके दिखाया, और इतने टफ टाइम के बावजूद उसके लिए आप धन्यवाद के पात्र हैं। दो सजेशंस हैं सर। आज हम ना आईपीओ और म्यूचुअल फंड में काफ़ी अग्रणी कंपनियों में से एक है, तो हम अपने जो रीजनल ऑफिस है उनको ज़्यादा एक्सपेंड करें, ताकि लोग जो उस रीजन के अंदर हमारी कंपनियां लिस्टेड है वो आके वहीं अपनी क्वारीज को समेट लें, ना कि एक पर्टिकुलर ऑफिस के लिए पर डिपेंड रहे। तो उससे हमारा टाइम और एफिशिएंसी ज़्यादा अच्छी बढ़ेगी। ये सजेशन है सर। दूसरा, एक हमारा एआई की तरफ भी देख रहे हैं, तो क्या बोर्ड हमारा कभी ये सोचेगा कि एक केफिन के नेतृत्व में एक एआई की नई कंपनी जनरेट करी जाए और उसका आईपीओ लाया जाए? सर, आपकी कंपनी में निवेश करना और उसका रिटर्न करना और लेना बहुत अच्छा रहता है। इस पे भी एक गंभीर रूप से विचार करिए। बोनस से कोई फर्क नहीं है, इस नए एक्सपेंशन की तरफ भी देखिए, क्योंकि हमारे ब्रांड का जो लोगो है वो बहुत रेपुटेड लोगो है सर। और सर, सभा में आज जितने भी प्रस्ताव लगाएगा उनका अनुमोदना करता हूँ। आइटम नंबर 3 और 4 का विशेष, और एमडी सर का तो जितना भी रेवोल्यूशन इंक्रीज हो जाए वही कम है सर, क्योंकि वो कमा के दिखाते हैं और लेते कम है। और सबसे अच्छी बात मेरे को लगी, सारा श्रेय खुद ना लेके आपने अपनी टीम को दिया। एक अच्छे गुड कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस की पहचान रही। आपके लिए मैं 4 लाइन जरूर कहूंगा सर, जो मेरे व्यक्तिगत विचार हैं। क्वेश्चन क्या पूछना, अभी तो असली उड़ान बाकी है, परिंदे का इम्तिहान बाकी है, अभी अभी तो लांगा है समुंदर, अभी तो पूरा आसमान बाकी है, केफिन के लिए पूरा आसमान बाकी है सर। तो और एक आपके दिशा निर्देश से सीए टीम ने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, औपचारिकता न समझ के जिम्मेदारी निभाई है। आज का लंच सेशन आपकी यादों के साथ याद रहेगा। इसी आशा विश्वास के साथ नमस्कार, जय हिंद।
Thank you, Mr. Jain. I request our next speaker, Ms. Savitri, to raise her questions. Please accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
Hello everyone. Thanks for giving this opportunity. Congratulations to the management and employees of KFintech. And as a woman, I personally appreciate KFintech efforts towards women empowerment. And the company's key strengths are its technology, customer trust, service quality, and continuous innovation. These strengths have helped KFintech to maintain its leadership position and deliver consistent growth. I wish company continued success in the years ahead. And I have four questions. My first question is: has the Ascent acquisition benefited KFintech as originally planned? And what further value can shareholders expect from it going forward? And my second question is: as competition grows, how does KFintech plan to maintain its leadership position and continue growth across the businesses? And we all know how AI is growing. My third question is: AI comes with both opportunities and challenges. In KFintech business, do you see AI as more of a boon or a bane? Why? And my fourth and last question is: with the rapid growth of AI, verifying the genuineness and identity of shareholders is becoming more challenging. How is KFintech strengthening its shareholders verification and fraud prevention process in the AI era? What measures are being taken to ensure security while maintaining a smooth experience for genuine shareholders? Thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Savitri. I request our next speaker, Mr. Praful Chavda, to kindly accept the prompt on your screen. Kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question. No response received. I request our next speaker, Mr. Manoj Kumar Gupta, to kindly accept the prompt on your screen. Unmute your audio, switch on your video,
हेलो
and proceed with your question.
हेलो नमस्कार मैं मनोज कुमार गुप्ता
You're audible.
from Puri. I actually reside in Calcutta, but today I am attending this meeting from Puri. I thanks to the company secretary team to help us to join this meeting through VC. And I thanks to our beloved MD and his team for excellent and nice presentation. And I'm very sorry that today our chairman is the last AGM, but he has done a lot of work for the company to bring the company on this stage. And I wish to God for his healthy and prosperous, safe, long life to get his achievement in coming time. And I warm welcome the new director in our board, ex-CMD of SBI, and he will help the management to take the company on new heights with the entire team of management. So what's your future plan? And what's your future outlook of the company for the next 3 years? And what's your plan to add new clients in coming time? Because several new IPOs are in the pipeline. So how you are approaching the management to get their registrarship in coming time? And I strongly support all the resolutions. They hope that our share price will be double and our payout will be double in coming time. And the CSR, kindly consider some CSR for Calcutta also, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gupta. I request our next speaker, Ms. Krishnapriya, to kindly accept the prompt on your screen, unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question. Ms. Krishnapriya, we request you to kindly proceed with your question. No response received. I request Mr. Shrikant Jhavar to kindly accept the prompt on your screen. Switch on your video and proceed with your question.
सर मेरा आवाज आ रहा है सर?
You're audible, sir. Kindly
Thank you,
proceed with
madam.
your question. Thank you.
Good afternoon, respected chairman, all board of director. नमस्कार साहब, मेरा नाम श्रीकांत झवर, मैं हैदराबाद से बात कर रहा हूँ सर. सर मैं क्वेश्चंस तो मेल में सेंड करा, मगर एक क्वेश्चन था जो मैं मेल में सेंड नहीं करा. जो मिडवे ऑफ जून में आप सिंगापुर में जो इनकॉर्पोरेशंस जो कर रहे हैं, अगर उसके बारे में थोड़ा जानकारी दिए तो अच्छा है सर. इनको का क्या है बताइए. और आज इतने आईपीओ आ रहे हैं, पूरे अपने को कार भी को मिल रहा है, बहुत खुशी की बात है. हमको इसमें भी बहुत बूस्ट, रिटेल इन्वेस्टर, रिटेल शेयर होल्डर को बहुत भरोसा है कि जितने भी वो ट्रस्ट है कि हमें वो आईपीओ मिल रहे हैं, और इसी तरह आईपीओ मिलते रहे सर, तो हमको बहुत आगे वेल्थ क्रिएट होगा सर. और आपका प्रेजेंटेशन भी अच्छा था. खाली एक क्वेश्चन जो मैं ऐड करना भूल गया था, जो इनकॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ सिंगापुर, इसके बारे में थोड़ा डिटेल बताइए. और इसी तरह वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग रहेगा सर. और साथ में मैं सेक्रेटरी टीम को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ जो मेल देने बाद हमको बैलेंस शीट प्रोवाइड करे. और इसी तरह वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंस मीटिंग के आते सो दशहरे दीपावली की भी शुभकामनाएं. थैंक यू.
Thank you, Mr. Shrikant. I request our next speaker, Ms. Lekha, to kindly unmute your audio, switch on your video, and proceed with your question.
Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
You are audible, madam. Kindly proceed with your
Thank you,
question.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Respected Chairman, sir, Board of Directors, and my fellow members, good afternoon and regards to everyone. Myself, Lekha Shah, and I am joining this meeting from Mumbai. At the outset, I sincerely thank our company secretary, Alpana ma'am, especially Regita ma'am, for sending the AGM report well in advance. I found the AGM report and I am delighted to say it's so beautiful, full of colors, comprehensive, informative, and enriched with valuable fact and figures in place. Once again, thank you so much, our company secretary, Alpana ma'am, and Regita ma'am. Chairman sir, your opening remarks so insightful and comprehensive that you have already addressed everything I had in mind. Sir, I pray to God that He always shower His blessing upon you. Again, I thank our company CFO sir, Srikanji, for such a informative and wonderful presentation. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the entire management and all the employees for receiving these prestigious awards. I congratulate the management for delivering a strong operational performance despite a competitive and evolving business environment. KFin Technology continues to strengthen its position as a leading technology-driven financial services platform with expanding domestic and global operations. Chairman sir, I would like to ask you questions. My first question is, how is the company leveraging AI and automation to improve efficiency and create new streams? And my second question is, what is the outlook for the mutual fund and issuer solution business? Chairman sir, I hope the company will continue video conference meeting in future. So I would like to say I strongly and wholeheartedly extend my support all the resolution placed before the meeting today. Thank you, Chairman sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all the speakers for your questions and participation. Before we move ahead, we would like to play a short video on our products and solution for the benefit of our esteemed shareholders.
In 1985, a promise was made to serve India's capital markets with trust, innovation, and commitment. From those beginnings, KFin Technologies began a journey that has grown with the markets, evolved with technology, and endured with time. For 4 decades, our story has been one of resilience and reinvention. We have embraced reforms, pioneered technology, expanded across borders, and empowered millions of investors, standing as a trusted partner in progress. From our roots in registry and transfer agent services, managing investor records, enabling seamless transactions, and ensuring regulatory compliance, we became one of the pillars on which India's capital market scaled. From managing the country's largest IPOs, LIC and Hyundai, to serving millions of investors, our leadership has shaped capital market history. And in December 2022, that journey came full circle as we ourselves were listed on the stock exchange. Our IPO, a landmark moment. More than a listing, it was a symbol of trust, marking KFin Technologies' place as a leader in the global fund administration. Recognition followed, awards for innovation, service excellence, and thought leadership. But beyond the accolades, our true honor has always been the confidence of our clients, the strength of our partners, and the dedication of our people. Today, KFin Technologies is more than a registrar and transfer agent. We are an aspiring global fund administrator, bridging traditional financial services with next-generation tech solutions. From wealth management to benchmarking, from investor engagement to digital transformation, we empower markets across India, Asia, and beyond. As we grew, so did our family. Our leap into mutual fund investor solutions in 1995, strengthened by acquiring Sundaram BNP Paribas Fund Services, RTA business laid the foundation for leadership. In 2016, we expanded globally with Deutsche Bank's RTA operations. Hexagram joined us in 2022. Webile apps in 2023 and Ascent Fund Services in 2025, each adding new depth and global reach. Along the way, we also forged alliances like BlackRock's Aladdin Provider Network, amplifying our impact worldwide. 40 years of innovation have created a foundation for the next phase of growth, driven by data intelligence, platform integration, and global scalability. KFin Technologies continues to redefine the future of investor and issuer services, building efficiency, transparency, and resilience across the financial ecosystem. This journey belongs to many, to every client who placed their trust in us, to every partner who walked beside us, to every regulator who guided us, and to every employee whose commitment built our foundation. KFin Technologies, 40 years of leadership, empowering growth, transforming futures.
In today's capital markets, investor relations is no longer just about reporting numbers. It's about understanding signals, shaping the narrative, and staying ahead of constant change. But most IR teams are still relying on fragmented tools, static reports, and manual workflows. By the time insights arrive, the market has already moved. What if you could see everything as it happens? Introducing EGIX, India's most comprehensive investor relations intelligence platform. EGIX brings together real-time market intelligence, ownership insights, and investor engagement into a single, powerful command center. Track ownership changes with precision. Stay ahead with live market signals and peer benchmarking. Monitor analyst ratings and consensus estimates. Identify, target, and engage investors. Plan meetings, track interactions, and manage your IR workflow seamlessly. And with IRA, your AI-powered IR assistant, you don't wait for a report. You just ask. With EGIX, IR teams move from reactive reporting to proactive, strategic decision-making. Build stronger investor relationships, enhance transparency and trust, and tell a consistent, data-driven organization story. Built on KFintech's 4 decades of capital markets expertise, EGIX is IR intelligence you can stake your investor story on. The future of investor relations is here. Are you ready to lead it?
14.48 crore new investor folios have been added since March 2020. Who added them to the ecosystem? India is becoming financially inclusive, but who is enabling it? You, the mutual fund distributor, you are bridging investors and their dreams. Your guidance powers financial independence. Your trust drives investor confidence. KFintech recognizes you. We value your efforts in making India financially secure, and we have built something to support you like no entity does. Say hello to Ignite, a first-of-its-kind distributor engagement initiative by KFintech. We heard mutual fund distributors across India and built a series of value-added services under Ignite that enables smarter operations and greater success, making you digitally savvy. With Ignite, KFintech equips you with modern digital tools that catalyze scalability, simplicity, and speed for MFDs. Real-time data access, empowering distributors to make informed decisions. Knowledge enrichment programs to keep MFDs updated, confident, and future-ready. Simplified operational workflows so distributors spend less time on processes and more time with clients. With Ignite, not only do we enhance business efficiency, we are building a trusted ecosystem of support, innovation, and empowerment. We understand that keeping up with regulatory changes and investor expectations can be overwhelming. Ignite bridges the digital divide with suite of services including Iris, a comprehensive multi-asset distribution platform engineered to unify product access, organizational control, and investor engagement in one seamless digital experience. Tailored for forward-looking distributors, Iris is the foundation of next-gen advisory. Group SIP, a pioneering solution tailored to institutionalize mutual fund investing within corporate ecosystems. It empowers distributors to embed SIP flows directly from employee salary accounts, catalyzing scalable, recurring investment volumes through a single corporate engagement. Digital NFO, a high-impact, digital-first solution designed to turbocharge fund launches. It enables distributors to disseminate ARN-tagged subscription links instantly, optimizing NFO campaigns for reach, efficiency, and conversion. Co-branded templates and product links, a branding enablement tool that empowers distributors to create and share co-branded AMC materials that are elegantly designed, pre-approved, and investor-ready. Daily Settlement Summary (DSS), a consolidated daily intelligence report that provides a panoramic view of your investor transactions and AUM movements across all KFintech serviced AMCs. KFintech and MF Central API Suite, a sophisticated suite of APIs that powers everything from onboarding and transactions to non-financial services and broker change requests, all through a single standardized interface. Influx. Influx is a premium data service that transmits real-time transactions, investor, and AUM intelligence directly into your systems multiple times daily. Whether you're in a metro, a small town, or a growing rural market, Ignite helps you reach new investors. Ignite. Empower, engage, excel by KFintech. The financial ecosystem is undergoing significant digital transformation. For nearly 4 decades, KFintech has been at the forefront, pushing past boundaries and reshaping markets, providing modern SaaS-based solutions to over 500 asset and wealth managers worldwide. In this new era, the wealth and asset management industry is also booming. But growth brings complexities and the need for a new-gen integrated platform to take care of reporting, manual processes, regulations, and serving HNIs. Presenting KFintech's Empower Wealth, a fully automated 360-degree wealth management platform with hyper-personalization and hyper-scaling capabilities built for global banks, retail and private banks, single and multi-family offices, investment advisors, wealth and portfolio managers, and external asset managers. Empower Wealth is your gateway to the future of wealth management. Key features include integrated omni-channel platform supporting multi-asset classes and currencies, digital onboarding with AML and KYC checks, configurable IPS and risk profiling, compliance and limit monitoring, model portfolio tracking and rebalancing, advanced reports, analytics and customizable proposal builder, persona-based investor portal, an advisor workstation, and portfolio simulation and optimization. Empower Wealth seamlessly connects with third-party interfaces like stock exchanges, data feed providers, execution platforms, custodians, banks, registrars, and more. The platform is database agnostic with API-led microservice architecture ready for on-premises and cloud implementation. Deliver high-touch and high-tech experience to investors. Automate, innovate, and lead with Empower Wealth. The future is Empower Wealth, and it's powered by KFintech.
Thank you, shareholders, for staying connected with us on this event. Now, I would request our MD and CEO, Mr. Shrikant, to respond to the questions of the speaker. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. Shrikant.
Thank you so much. And I'll first start with extending my sincere thanks to all the shareholders who have participated, taking time out of their busy schedules, listening to the commentary from our chairman and from the management, going through the annual report, and just following the overall progress of the company and being such a staunch supporter and a well-wisher of this organization. So thank you so very much. Your questions mean a lot to us. Hopefully, we'll be able to provide you the necessary information, that would help you understand the overall strategy of the organization that you so dearly trust. I have bucketed the questions into 7 or 8 topics, given there were repetitions. So without necessarily naming of the individual and the shareholder who have questioned, I'll try to answer, the broad themes, if I may. Right. Given the amount of focus that this organization has had in risk diversification, and the risk diversification, fortunately for us, came with an opportunity to expand our total addressable market. Again, just to reiterate, the risk of a singular asset class, a singular business process, and a singular country, we have chosen the path to diversify one asset class into multiple asset classes, one country into many countries, one business process, which is registrar and transfer agent, into multiple business processes, whether it is fund accounting, whether it is technology, whether it is customer support, so on and so forth. That's the path we have chosen over the last 5 years, and we have made some strident steps in that direction. Questions were around what else on the geographical expansion, more specifically. We are not looking at expansion from the standpoint of just putting a pin on every country on the earth. Expansion has to be purposeful. It has to be accretive to the shareholders. We all understand and appreciate the fact that starting business in a new country, especially in a highly regulated industry like the one that we work in, comes with significant amount of management effort and bandwidth, cost in terms of capital infusion, as well as the incubation efforts that go in terms of making the business run. At this moment in time, the countries that we are currently present in, whilst may not constitute to be a vast majority in terms of the count, but certainly do in terms of the total assets under management. That is an important metric for us. If you combine US with many of the offshore locations like Cayman, Mauritius, etc., and add the financial might of Singapore, Hong Kong, UK, etc., we are nearly covering close to 75% of the global wealth. The business that we are in, which is basically to support the wealth managers, whether you are an asset manager or a pension fund manager or an insurance fund manager, so on and so forth, requires for us to be in the locations where there is a precipitated wealth that resides. To that extent, I believe that we are already present in nearly every place that we ought to be. What is important is to maximize the impact in each of these locations. As I've already called out, just one single country / continent, US alone, contributes to over 50% of the global wealth, and we are present. And that industry itself is a $30 billion annual revenue, for a fund administrator. So to that extent, I want to, confirm that our current geographical presence is quite large, substantive. We will focus in maximizing the investments that have gone into it, and we'll come back to shareholders for further expansion should there be any future. Second theme, artificial intelligence it's clearly not lost on anyone. Many are rightfully so, if not concerned, at least suspicious in terms of impact that it may have. Many are significant proponents in terms of the harbinger that it would be in times to come. Time will tell. With every profound change in technology, what is an absolute certainty is disruption. The disruption so far, history, if we kind of trace back to, over a medium to long term period, has always been beneficial to the mankind, whether it is the industrial revolution, whether it is information technology revolution, now it is AI revolution. All of these have contributed to the betterment of the human well-being. I'd like to believe that artificial intelligence also most certainly will contribute to such thing, notwithstanding initial apprehensions in terms of how it could impact. Whilst we are not an AI company, we are definitely one of the first and the foremost adopters of the technology as is. Which was called machine learning back in the day. Before that, straight through automation, so on and so forth. While these are all evolutions, AI definitely is fundamentally more transformative and hence revolutionary to that extent. It is management's absolute intent to not to be disrupted by AI, but be the entity that will disrupt this industry, leveraging AI as a overall overall technological change that has happened. And as I said, we have not just been talking about it, we have probably also launched various solutions which are already in public. And to that extent, you could already be a consumer of such. For example, the AEGIX platform that we have created for investor relations is something that's already in the public domain. If you are a mutual fund investor and if you're investing in SIPs, please follow the process that has been laid out, and you will be pleasantly surprised to see that in no more than 3 days, your SIP gets registered. The cycle time cutting down from 21 days to 3 days is a significant expansion in terms of the serviceability and the customer centricity. So this is just one small example of AI, how AI can help. It is contraction of timelines. It is reduction of the cost over a medium to long term, period. It is furthering the technology that is currently helping you, for example, attend this shareholder meeting, from a distance. In not too distant a time, it will be far more enhanced and far more interactive, in terms of how you can engage with the organization, and it need not necessarily be just through the AGMs, but through on a much more regular frequency, the cadence of which we will work on. So that's largely the AI. We are currently investing, we are learning, ourselves, for us to be able to implement. We have also taken upon the broad ambition of making every KFin employee to have at least intermediary knowledge levels of artificial intelligence. It is nothing but the technology team in the hands of an operations and a business team. That's what AI is all about. So it is not just the IT team that is being trained on AI. Our hope and belief and our commitment is to make sure that every KFin employee is AI proficient into the coming years. I'll move to the next topic in terms of a large number of questions came in the form of the acquisition Ascent, also in terms of geographical expansion and how it is performing. We have concluded the acquisition in the month of October the previous year, so it's just been little around 7 to 8 months. It has been extremely heartening to see the growth of the organization, the contribution both onto the top line as well as the bottom line. Very early days, nevertheless. We have spent enough time together to ensure that there is a very tight integration. We set the guardrails that are required so that we all work under the overall governance ambit that KFintech has laid down for itself, being the holding company. It is very important for all the subsidiary companies also to embrace the ways of functioning. And I'm exceptionally pleased in terms of a very quick and robust adoption of the broader governance guidelines that the organization has set for itself. It is also a matter of pride that in a very limited period of time we managed to integrate function to function between the entities. What I mean by that is our technology team works very closely with Ascent's technology team. Our business development team works very closely with the business development team of Ascent. Our financial, CFO organization works the same, so on and so forth. So whilst it may look like two different entities, for us, we have already come to that stage where we believe and that we are one singular entity and we are working in the direction with the singular goal of making this organization a large global fund administrator. It is a vision that the founders of Ascent also share and something that they are actively pursuing and driving. The financial performance in terms of how it has evolved and how it will evolve into the coming years. Of course, as I said, whilst it is very early days, we have firm conviction in terms of the business plan that based on which we have made the acquisition will be fructified and hopefully ahead of the time as compared to the plans that we have, and some more details will be provided by Mr. Mathurin in a little while from now. The next question is around risk management, fraud detection, and the related topics. I can't agree more, and rightfully so, as every shareholders is concerned, and we are obviously being the custodian of the data pertaining to almost 20 crore Indians. Nearly every Indian citizen who has ever invested or investing will have some touch point with KFin Technologies. And that puts us in a position, of extraordinary responsibility, and we take it exceptionally seriously. With the guidance, from the board, we have created a very large, team filled with experts, and we take external counsel and guidance as well as effectuate partnership with the industry to make sure that our systems are extremely resilient. In the year that had gone by, in addition to a primary and a secondary data center, we have also created an air gap data center, which ensures that should there be any untoward eventuality, there is another disconnected data center where both the application layer and the data layer resides, which is very, very important from the standpoint of continuity of the business operations should there be an eventuality, though we are extremely confident that such a situation never would arise. Fraud detection in the age of AI, is something that obviously we are very seized of. It's every good any massive transformational or breakthrough technology always has a flip side to it. In the case of AI, of course, impersonation in terms of understanding the identity and the authenticity of the person claiming the money that it belongs to them needs to be established. It makes the processes that much more complex, but at the same time, the same technology also offers us solutions as to how to mitigate and manage such eventualities. So we have created over the last 18 months, if you see, our entire risk and compliance team has swelled to almost 100 individuals, and it's not just the people that's behind it, but also the evolution of the systems which detect on a very early basis in terms of any potential fraud that may happen or impersonation. The early warnings and the early detection systems that we have created have been significantly helping us. And I'm sure you would appreciate the fact that if you look at the broader financial services industry, the overall banking and overall insurance, so on and so forth, in the capital markets, in the mutual funds, you would have seen the lowest incidence of any such incidents. And that's largely because of the processes and the technological solutions we've created. That said, we always need to be ahead of someone who is intending to defraud the system. And it's been our commitment, and we'll make sure that we'll continue to do so in the coming years as well. Questions around competition. We have always maintained the position that we very strongly advocate good competition. It's very, very important. It's very important because as a citizen of the country, the person who is going to be most benefited with competition is each of us as the consumer of our own services. And competition pushes us to excel. It pushes us to do better. It pushes us to learn and innovate on a day-to-day basis. As a country, and if today fintech in India is one of the best, evolution that has happened in our country. Worldwide, if you see, it is UPI that the world speaks about India in terms of the number of transactions that get done. Today, the world also is talking about same-day settlements in securities market. It is talking about T+1 settlements in the case of mutual funds, near real-time redemptions in the form of instant redemption in mutual funds. These are all technological evolutions which the rest of the world has not seen. I can say this with some amount of confidence now that we are present in so many countries. And I can also tell you that a large portion of this comes from entities competing with each other to be able to render better solutions and services. Whilst I absolutely encourage strong competition in every line of business, it has been our commitment that we will make sure that we will be in the leadership position in every business that we operate in, either we are already neither number one or number two. It is our intent and ambition to the coming years to be number one in every business line that we operate in. So that's as far as competition is concerned. And from a leadership standpoint, I believe that we have an incredible team, committed to the cause, extraordinarily intelligent, and more importantly, bought into the vision of what we want to create. And that amount of stability in the leadership team and the management team, with the guidance, mentorship from the board, I'd like to believe that we will continue to face competition, especially new businesses, new geographies. Our competition spectrum has increased. Today, we compete with some of the largest entities in the world, in the US, in Singapore, in Hong Kong. It is no longer the traditional competitors that we have. And despite that, we have been expanding our international business. That gives us great deal of confidence that we have as an organization in the DNA within us to not just compete with few players here in India, but also have the right skill set to compete with any of the strongest players anywhere in the world for that matter. I take into cognizance certain observations made by the shareholders about certain glitches that they have faced on the AGM platform. I will work with my team to ensure that you will not face any such. Uh, and Ms. Mascarenhas has called out about the challenges that she has faced, and I'm sure she's not alone when she says this in terms of the dematerialization of the physical shares. Whilst the processes and the technologies have evolved quite a bit, a lot of hyperlocal work has been taken place in terms of, for example, conducting shivers, which under the aegis of the Prime Minister's office, in fact, we have conducted in New Delhi and many other parts of the country, which is basically camps to request the shareholders to come forward and then bring the share certificates so we clear the dematerialization process. But it is true that the processes that are required to dematerialize shares is long and complex, and they are also long and complex for the very reason that there is a potential for a fraud in the form of uh, identity theft, so on and so forth. It is our duty to protect your money. Whilst I take on board that it is definitely a complexity, I also commit to you that we will not have a trade-off in terms of risk versus timelines. So it is our duty to bring both of them in some sense of resonance, and we will make sure that the turnaround times are reduced. We will work towards identifying a case officer for every such request so that we handhold the process of dematerialization. Rather than having a faceless, service that sometimes you may experience after your initial connect with our branches. There was also a certain request in terms of expanding the ambit of CSR, both in terms of scope and geographical reach, including one into Calcutta. I've taken this on board, and as I said, as the profitable and surplus of the organization increases, so will the ability of the organization to spend the CSR, money on multiple initiatives and across the geographies. We will make sure that we'll come to Kolkata, one of these days as well. So these are the broad topics I wanted to cover, and I'm sure this covers about 70 to 80% of all the questions asked by the shareholders. I requested Mr. Mathur to cover, some aspects on the financials, capital deployment, so on and so forth. Mr. Mathur.
Thank you, Shrikant. One of the questions was about the capital allocation policy and what is the M&A going to be in future. So we are continuing to look at opportunities, but there is no imminent M&A that we are looking at. We'll continue to explore opportunities which are adjacent to the business that we are running. Nothing in the pipeline as of now. In terms of new capex, as you know that we are building a new office in Hyderabad, and that is something which will require, some bit of, operating lease to be taken, which will have an impact of about 10 to 12 crores per annum on the operating lease side. On the IT side, we continue to remain invested because we are a company known for launching innovative products and solutions which are relevant for the clients. And this percentage, which was 18% of the revenue last year, will continue to come down as the revenue goes up. And as you know, the cost of purchasing hardware is going up. If you purchase a laptop, it's double of what it was last year. And if you purchase servers, it's almost 3 times. So we are balancing cloud charges and on-prem investment to see how we get best value for money and balancing it out to make sure that we protect our margins. And that was the next question as to what the what is the reason for the dip in the margins in FY26. There are few reasons I will talk about. One is that the mark-to-market gains were not as robust as they were in the past, and the net inflows towards equity were lesser as compared to what we've seen in the past because of the asset mix change moving towards gold and silver ETF that Shrikant alluded to. And in times when the geopolitical situation is volatile, most of the institutional investors park their money in liquid funds, which also does not generate a good amount of returns for the RT in terms of fee. And the international business, which is Ascent acquisition, also comes with single-digit EBITDA margins as they remain invested in terms of expanding and hiring resources. And we mentioned that at the time of acquisition that it will take a couple of years to go to a PAT positive situation, which will be value accretive to the shareholders, which we continue to maintain even now. So you will see that in times when mark-to-market gains and net inflows are difficult to gain, we will balance it out with cost optimization that we are currently working on, and then you will see the outcome in the coming quarters. So our guidance remains that the top line will grow in the range of about 20%, EBITDA margins will be in the range of 40 to 45%, and PAT margins will be in the range of 25 to 30%. In difficult times, we protect the lower threshold, and in good times when the mark-to-market supports and the economies of scale come through leveraging AI and cost optimization, you will see an uptick in the margins. On the revenue from NPS, it was 16 crores last year, and it was a break-even that we achieved last year. NPS business will become profitable from FY27 onwards. On the Singapore entity, as to why we formed that entity, it is basically meant to do business in Southeast Asia and look at acquisition, which we did, Ascent acquisition out of Singapore. So the Singapore entity was the vehicle through which the shareholding of 51% in Ascent is being held, with a part to 100% in the next 3 to 5 years. We will look at opportunities of expansion in Southeast Asia and other countries by leveraging Singapore entity rather than doing step down subsidiary of any other entity that we have internationally. Singapore entity will be leveraged for that purpose. The other question was about what is the average age of an employee? It's 33 years. Male to female ratio, Shrikant did discuss. It is about 30% towards the females, which is better than what it was last year, and will continue to improve that. The attrition rate, the voluntary attrition rate is 12%, and that's pretty much in control, in line with the industry standard. These were the questions I think we have covered. Over to you, Chairman, sir.
Thank you, Shrikant, for bracketing those questions properly and giving a very comprehensive insight into it. Rather, I would say the vision of the board and the management you articulated very well, and steps that we are going to take. Thank you, Vivek, for giving the financials, questions related to financials. I think, shareholders, we have answered all the questions from you. If there is still any questions left, or you have any new questions coming to your mind, I request you to please send an email to us at investorsrelations@kfintech.com. We will ensure that same is appropriately responded. I would like to thank all the shareholders for attending this AGM today, and would like to conclude the proceedings of the AGM. As mentioned earlier, the e-voting facility is still available to shareholders for the next 15 minutes. Members who have not yet voted can proceed to it. I authorize the Company Secretary to accept the scrutinizer's report on behalf of the company. The e-voting results, along with the scrutinizer report, shall be disseminated to the stock exchange and also be placed in the website of the company and NSDL within prescribed timelines. Thank you once again. Stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.